She's like, what are you doing, lady? Actually, if you're up, I also have the box of toys. I'm going to quickly do her assessment. So again, you can see her where she's still way engaged, but she wants to sit up, but she doesn't know how to sit up still. Thanks. So again, see how she's looking at you as stimuli, so it's not like, I'm going to say, oh, her head's only turned one way. Sorry. So I'm just doing the pelvis. Now I can see here again, even though she's looking, it's a little bit heavier on the one side to twist her. Her knees. I know, I'm still here. Ooh, and the stuff's here. This is where you can see with the organization on the feet. Just a quickie, we're almost done. Since she's looking this way, I'm going to go this way with the spinal twist, and this is where, see, it's a bit labored. She's not as squishy or wriggly, you know what I mean? Like I'm not moving the fluid through her as well. But I'm saying this not to find fault. This is already where my brain's going to where I'm going to assist her, not to say what's wrong with her. That's the only thing that's a little bit rough on parents when I bring them in for training. I am training these guys, so it's not like oh, I know, so.
How old is Sophie?
She's 7.5 months. Either way.
And you can see already from me just doing this a couple of times that she's there. She goes.
Oh, there she goes.
Oh, good. That was nice.
She's like someone standing up.
But when I first met her, checking out the crowd, that wasn't happening. There was no, But you can see too, I was talking about, she still has the worried baby look. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's okay. We'll spin you around this way, and then we're going to sit you up. So I can bring her around, but see where the breathing starts to go with her.
So this is shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, when I first met her, she could not grab anything with her hands. It was all with the feet. And literally, if I had her in sitting, she'd just sort of scoot with her feet. See? Yeah, it's okay. You can chill. Eat some. Do you mind if these guys play with her for a second?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
No, absolutely.
So I don't know if you guys want to sit here and do it, or if you want to, or I can pass her around that way. I'll entertain the troops while you can work on just feeling her up on the feet. And Angie too, if you have any questions, by all means.
I'm just going to sit down.
Okay, here we go.
And you're more welcome to hang out here for a bit too.
And that's exactly.
Yeah, it's a little cold. I know.
So you're ready to change in vision, how it changes the movement. When those eyes get very contracted, everything else gets all, see the worried look goes away, and see already how she can kick and play and be like a baby, but that worried look is more, and that's the hardest thing to teach people, that she's actually trying to control her balance and her reactions by, she's learned by the facial contractions, it stabilizes the rest of the body. But that's very similar, no offense, what a senior does when they're walking down and they actually get tight because they figure they have better balance. What? I know.
Yeah, that little piston.
Well, it's just a different way too of touching a baby. And she is 7.5 months old, but as you can see though, her responses and actions, she's still feels and looks younger, even though she's a, so you can play with her head if you want. I can work on the pelvis, and then I'll do the same for you if you want. But also see, even just how your touch, how it'll get the head to suddenly go into a reactive. Oh, there's the camera. Is that you? Is that you? Yeah, it is. Somebody's got blue eyes. Oh yeah, they're the toys. So she's starting to sit on her own, but she's not coming to sitting just yet. However, I barely was touching her pelvis, and she came up quickly. Yeah, so I was pretty happy with
So
her.
like here now, which is something.
Listen, as long as the brain's progressing, we've got progress. It's when it starts going into, like I have a munchkin coming in tomorrow, and I'm like, torticollis, I haven't even seen it. And she's like, nobody's ever mentioned that. I'm like, you just got a helmet this week. You're saying that you have to proper even in sleeving. What?
Yep. I feel like there needs to be more training on that kind of thing with foster parents.
Well, where I want to hit you up, there's a big call right now for people to hold the babies that
I
have been.
saw that.
And I'm
Substance
wondering,
exposed babies in the
right,
hospital, right?
right. I'm wondering if that's the program we can go after with the newborn assessment, and you have your background as a foster mom, and
Absolutely. I can
and-
get in there.
well, whatever. Or if we could at least start making some phone calls.
Yeah,
And,
I
you
saw
know,
that posted on Facebook somewhere.
Yeah,
Did I see it from you?
I don't know if I posted it or not. It might have been on the newborn assessment.
I don't think so, but
But-
I didn't look super far into it because I thought.
But I'm wondering. I was like,
Be
oh,
able
I
to-
wonder if I can hit up Angie now that she's.
I would.
Angie's. How many babies have you had? About 15?
11.
11.
How the system works. The 2-second rundown is the child is always taken from their parent if they're abused, neglected, or somehow abandoned, you know, like left at a hospital or whatnot. After those, at that point, the state's always got a goal of reunification. The first plan is always put them in a safe home, work with parent to get them back to the parent. That's always like the goal right out the chute. Even if the child's abandoned, they work to find the mom or dad or
So
whoever.
you were here like with
They try to
a finger
connect
on
with
the
parents
shoulder,
or
a finger on the
grandparents or parents and
neck.
uncles, someone in the family. And then after they put in
She does want to roll
all kinds
easier
of
this way
effort
than
to
this
get
way.
that
Right, right.
parent rehabilitated, if they don't get rehabilitated, then at that point, then they sever their rights, they terminate their parental rights,
Yeah.
and then the child is.
But see, if you touch it the right way,
Yeah.
that response should be automatic into movement.
Well, of course
Oh,
you
yeah.
should.
It's
Right.
in
Yeah,
so
she's
much
feeling
limbo.
like-
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's more what you're doing.
However, feel it the other way.
Yeah.
So see how the neck's not even going into that position.
Yeah. Well, it starts, but then it doesn't do the next thing.
Right. And that's where, see, she goes into lift and it cancels
Yeah.
out the action.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe she shouldn't have room.
That's why it is nicer.
See, you have to give her
older
room over here
babies.
too, though, because you know there's something about
It-
seeing where you can go. I mean, we say that in
That
phone
that
calls.
all comes into,
Yeah,
but,
see, it's over there.
but it's still.
I know she's
see
still.
the lifting, and also she's holding her breath.
Of course
That
she
grunt.
is.
Babies
Of course she
shouldn't
is.
grunt.
Yeah.
No, I just want you to start
I
feeling
got
the
you.
difference.
I
Yeah.
totally see it. Yeah, I could feel the first thing.
It was a new post.
Was mine?
No, it was, I just, when I saw the article, I thought, that's probably outdated.
But I'm,
There's so many things still, but now I'm
Right.
looking at it and it wasn't, it was new.
now rolling over and stuff she all got here too.
Yeah.
I keep trying to give you her legs, so hold on. Hold on, babies. She's like,
Yeah.
there you go. See, eyes go
Yeah.
and the pelvis goes. Total change.
Yeah.
But see the symmetry, the kicking even is not,
It's a little. Yeah.
it's same.
Yeah. Oh, you mean rather than going?
Right. She's not left foot right, kicking like in
Yeah.
opposition, so see if she'll do it again.
Yes, she just recently started that. She always does the bang bang. She just recently started to throw her head with it.
Yeah.
So she
Well,
sits in the,
just sit up, okay? So typically, if you watch an adult sit up, right? So let's see if I can catch her. If she kicks, see, and that brings us up. That's how we go up. That's how old people get.
right.
So she's trying to create that. And there, she saw that. I know. So she's trying to go into the next level, but she's not doing it right. So she's bucking instead of,
Instead of transferring.
yeah.
Yeah, because like in the high chair is where it happens the most, strangely enough. She'll kick, and then she just starts hanging her head like she's upset. And like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that behavior. Oh.
But a lot of people would see that as temperamental. Now, at seven
But
and a
it's
half
more
months
balanced,
old, no
right?
offense, it is balanced. But
Yeah.
at 7.5 months old, she's not going to say, now she could have tried to chew something, she couldn't swallow right, so now she's throwing her head back, as a way of being able to swallow better.
Okay.
She's got this thing going to the mouth, though. She's right on that. So I'm just kind of playing with the idea of, is there a way just to follow her? Like, what is she doing? You know what I
Correct.
mean?
Well,
Like,
this
that's
is where
sort
I'm
of the
trying to
beginning,
teach you
right?
this way of
What is
just
she?
understanding how movement should flow through a body.
Yeah,
And if you go with her,
yeah.
she'll develop 10 times faster
Isn't that
because
interesting? Yeah, because now she feels what she's doing.
right, but like I said, you're just giving your movement vocabulary into her. You're not trying to fix her.
It's huge.
See? You see that bucking there? That's
Yeah.
where.
Yeah.
But see, this is where I don't let them be successful. So I roll her back down instead of allowing her
to get up that way. Like
right, but
the-
I also don't want her to learn to get down that way. So,
There's other ways to do it.
again with the vision. And coming up. Oh, there we go. You gonna crawl with Tracy? But see how that would be a continual rotation.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that fun?
But that's where the trochanter, see, is not across the midline, right there. And she's trying, so I go in there and I start rotating that trochanter.
Yeah.
She's trying to get up,
Yeah,
sort
she
of like
is,
what
I
you've
know.
been doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah. Wow. And babies are so much persistent, aren't they? They're way more persistent than we are.
to a point, when the mass supersedes the might,
then they're just
same
like,
with adults.
yeah, too much.
The intelligent brain will say, I can't do that. That's why you have kids with CP that maybe can walk when they're 8 or 9, but by 16, they can't do it because they
it's too
weren't
much.
really walking.
Yeah.
And when their mass supersedes that might, or you might walk well until the day you have the flu.
Yeah.
And then your brain goes,
Not doing
whatever
this.
I've been doing, this just isn't working.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
are you learning? Are you learning? Cupcakes that way. I can say, oh, next order I really need is for her to walk backwards. And
then
literally
she
this
does
week
that.
she turns around and walks backwards. Okay, I'm glad I didn't have to teach her. Hi. But see already the difference and how just this little bit, how she's already rolling differently and the different,
Yeah.
like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, look at that. Look at those legs fly.
Again, she's playing opposing to gravity. A typical 3-year-old at this point should really be legs up in the air. Hi, how are you? And they're just, but they're getting ready for the cartwheels then to start to come. But again, she doesn't need to be like a table where she's got 4 legs on the floor and now she can't go anywhere.
No.
However, I don't want her to start standing up. I want her to crawl before.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're happy. Now you're happy. Now it's just happy drool versus spit up. She was a real spit uppy baby.
Still is, but it's getting worse.
Yeah.
She's so much happier too since she's been moving.
Oh, yeah.
She's right
And you can see I'm just doing what I would do to assess her, but I'm
Yeah.
doing it now as a. But babies are not going to be like little adults where they're going to lie in one position.
No.
If they do, again, Houston, we have
Feel the
trouble.
pressure you're putting on them.
Sure. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Michelle.
Yes, Michelle Turner.
Yep.
Yeah, do you need a signature?
Yeah.
Angie, you want to? Yeah, please.
Anybody?
Yeah.
Last name?
Ringer. IMGGER.
Thanks. My pressure's like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like you don't even have to really have a much.
No, but that's where she.
Yeah,
See,
that's where
I'm
she thinks
just.
it's her.
Yeah. But again, now if I do this, look at the
Uh-huh.
difference already in her. See, that movement can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Versus where I can come in and. If I'm like this.
Oh yeah, that's not it.
See,
that's not
shuts
it.
her down.
Yeah,
3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Versus.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at her there. Oh yeah.
It's enjoyable.
Absolutely, that's the only way babies learn. When parents come in and go, "Oh, good, she's going to work today." Yeah, no, this isn't work. I never want, even when I'm working on you per se,
Have
it's
it
not
be a
work.
play. Yeah. She's gonna jump.
Yeah, she's all over the place now. I feel like her movements are kind of like random. She like.
Well, they're not as synchronized as we'd like
yeah.
to be, but still, she. Now I
she's
will
gone too.
on something like this do a little bit of hand over hand if I'm looking to rotate, but I'm still not, you know. Yeah. I'm giving her a little bit of opposition to play with, as well as, but I don't want her to be a failure. You'll see me with some kids where I really have to go under the chest. She has good head control, so I'm not going to, but I don't want her to learn how to face plant.
Uh-huh.
I want her to be successful. And a typical baby, 1, 2 beads, oh my gosh, or again, when a parent's just going, here, oh, they're bored. No, babies aren't bored, there's no problem. Again, these are all just,
Yeah. Like 2 pairs of beads and then she's in heaven.
yeah.
She plays with it at home almost all
Does
the
she?
time.
Yeah.
She has one toy that doesn't fall off. It's like a flat toy, you know, with,
Uh-huh.
but it's like one of the ones that doesn't always just fall off if I put her on the high chair or set her, you can just roll away.
Yeah.
She plays with
Well,
that
beads
a
are
lot.
cool because they're shiny, they make noise, they're instant cause and effect, they're, you know,
Easy
you
to
just
hold
don't,
and
you
apparently delicious.
just,
Apparently.
you just don't leave them home alone with beads because then CPS comes.
Yeah. So that's a great oppositional there, the chest and the hip. Ribs,
But there she
right?
fell,
Uh-huh.
and baby shouldn't fall.
Is that, yeah.
They're like little weebles that way.
Yeah.
They really should have this nice little inner. That was very nice.
Very nice.
But see, I'm just here enough for the success.
Uh-huh.
Now at this point, she's really trying to find a way to sit up. So
Yeah.
it's just a nice little scoop, and then come back down.
You know, I saw Feldenkrais work with young boys, and it was almost like he was opposing him till the boy just wanted to go off the table.
Straight up.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways, you do a little of that too. I can see, like, giving her an oppositional force that she then gets to feel,
Right.
where would I go if I
Yeah.
could go?
Yeah, but I'm trying not to tick them off.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but you know,
but I
there's
mean, yeah.
some way the nervous system's already doing that without it really coming up to the brain, it seems like, to me.
I worked on an adult yesterday. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, why am I ruining your day talking about my stuff?" I said, "No, please, by all means.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be mad, but learn how to move in and out of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people use
Yeah.
my table as therapy. I think that's what your mom thought she was doing for a while, so she tried to back off, and she's like, "Oh, Michelle's actually helping me." I've been seeing her mom now for a couple of years, so this is where usually too I go through generations of families.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and it's all connected anyway, so,
Yeah.
you know, you're learning something new about touch, you're gonna have an emotional response.
Well, not only that, but we'll also be teaching you this weekend. You're learning how to have a responsive touch. People think that touch is only emotional. Whether I smack you or grab you a wrong way, I get an emotional. I'm looking to see how you respond to the touch or the action itself, which goes back to Newton's law. For every action, there should be an equal and opposite reaction. Einstein says that if you match the frequency, then you automatically get what you want. So to take those principles of science and put it through a baby, you know, win-win. There's been some people wanted to write an article on me that I have a healing touch. I said, don't you dare. I don't want anybody to ever feel that I have a quality in me that can't be replicated. And
Or that the concept of the healing touch really at its base is a shared responsiveness.
Yeah.
That's really what it is,
Yeah.
ultimately. That everyone is able to touch.
I mean, I get it that I touch you and hopefully you're out of pain. So yes, it's a healing touch, but it's still a very specific touch.
You know, they're starting to talk about movement as being nourishing. You know, as this is a, yeah, like we don't just need nutrients, we need movement to nourish our.
Right. When I told a naturopath this morning about how I met the astronaut last night and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, you need to tell him that calcium's not going to work for." I'm like, "No, this is where you need the movements for your bones."
It's the nutrient. It's like a nutrient thing.
Right. The,
you know?
the better you,
And you're
all
helping her
nutrients
do that
rotate.
in a way. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you look at proteins and sugars, so yeah, come in here and play with her spine. Let me know if you want my chair.
I just love it when babies get to be more like babies. Don't you? Oh, I just think it's just like.
I have such a broken skew. I have such a skewed. I've seen so many broken babies that I, you know, just delayed broken, for lack of a better word.
Like that one who started.
They had life experience that they weren't meant to have.
Yeah,
you know?
I sometimes I forget what normal is. You know, or what typical.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great that everybody gets born and they're being brought into
But it's
welcome
not just
arms
that
and there's
either.
nothing.
It's like we saw one who couldn't nurse right and had that tongue thing. Well, you know, he was like, it wasn't like it was a broken home or something like that. Something was just wrong. And when he came back, well, then he's back into. So it isn't just an emotional. It's like just tied up trying to figure something out. You know,
Yeah, it could be anything.
it could be anything. That was what I understood from him last time I was here.
But a foster child could literally be in like 3 different homes by the time they find, you know, and they're not all going to be handy or they're going to get that.
No, right.
Movement lessons.
Right?
But I needed
Or
babies
small
for
things-
this, and
or
Angie
small-
posted on a board. So, like I said, we're getting a bunch of foster babies, which is
that's
great.
So great.
I have some very excited friends.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
I
I'll
call
take
them
one.
friends, although I've never met
I'll
them.
take either one. I'll take either
Welcome
one.
to Facebook Live.
Yeah, you can really, now that I'm looking at her movements through that perspective, you really realize how much we project onto babies. But what is she really doing there? Just like trying to calibrate the machine. But,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or find fault. Well, you know, she
Yeah.
shouldn't be contracting her toes like
Yeah.
this. No, actually, she should, but she should be at this point be going in and out of it,
Yeah,
which
it's-
she is.
Yeah.
At this moment, she's contracting. So if I just took this snippet, but see right
Yeah, but you
there,
don't need to.
but see, she
Yeah.
can feel her. She's bucking back, and that's where you don't want that bucking back to happen, and then that's where you have to slow down, which you'll learn
Yeah.
to slowly,
Yeah.
like you said, that come
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
versus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
But
you
to
could
just
you
take
could
a
feel her,
baby
you
and
could feel
jump
her
them and
even
put
her
them on all
spawn when you're just
fours.
like, you know, you just like nothing.
Well, same with you.
I
If
know.
I'm
Well, me
like,
too.
come on,
I know.
Tracy
Like-
versus, all right,
Yeah.
Tracy. You know
All right.
what did you do since I've last seen you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That
I'm wondering already.
But I mean, that's where the conversation goes,
Yeah,
You're right.
little sweet pie.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And she also learns more and more that she can roll back into your arms because she knows that that's a consistent touch. So the safeness comes there.
Oops. You learned how to face it.
Yeah, I already knew that one. Positive, I already knew that one. One of these days we're gonna get the arms out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So right right now and just rolling her over her pelvis. But also, this is where I started getting into the perpetual motion. Why is it that I'm touching her a certain way and she wants to move more? So that's what really made me start looking at the muscle function. So the more and more she rotates, she actually gets more energy. Like a child that's having problems actually should be getting tired by now, right? But the more and more she starts to rotate, it's like, and that's when you tell a child, "Aren't you tired yet?" And they're doing
Well, she
cartwheels
hasn't had
and
enough
spinning.
of it. That's what
I know that,
think,
but that's
yeah.
where I looked at, they're not looking at the muscle function correctly. So the more you can offer this kind of touch, look at all, I'm not doing half the work here, she's doing it all.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep her where she's successful.
What she's already doing.
But also, if you look at her, for being addicted to 3 different drugs when she's born, she's maintained her attention to these things, so her attention span is increasing like you would not believe. A lot of these kiddos are really more what they would say ADD and that kind of thing.
Oh, she's pretty good.
You
on that
know.
scale. She's been into it. Though.
And into how you guys are reacting to it.
Of course.
I love puppy pants.
She's always camping.
Yeah, I know. But see how she's checking in on us. Like, you see what I'm doing, lady? Any questions so far? It's cool to be up and just watch them, isn't it?
Alright.
See,
Well,
this is what I was talking about. They press off of you. It's a
Yeah.
really big milestone. But that goes back to the womb when they're in there and they're pressing up and ooh, what's her at that belt? Now again, she has no idea what that is. But she's responding to that, either visually or touch and all of that. So they'll kick in. Are you going to dress her now? But she's finding 15 different ways that she can go and go after that belt for whatever reason. I wonder if those are my people. We're in a senior area, so if there's kids running around, usually it's like the mid. Very rare do you see kids here and they're not coming here.
Do you have people back to back?
You know what? I was back. I think right now that I do have an 11 o'clock, I want to say, but all of a sudden I'm questioning my judgment.
So does she like to lay on her belly and creep along?
She flops, for lack of a better term, flops around. She does this, where she kind of like rolls and gets up and flops one way and then comes old and arches.
Yeah.
But she definitely gets around the room.
Like that.
Like that.
See here,
Yeah.
you see it more where she's scooting with the legs.
Yeah. But kids do all kinds of different. I mean,
They do,
you know,
but-
you look at crawls. They're.
But she should be sitting up on her own by now.
yeah.
She should be.
Yeah.
She has every right now to start being aggressive with her care.
Yeah.
And honestly, if she didn't ever had the lessons, if you look at her from a
There
first
would have been
one,
no way.
There would have been no way.
she would be a long-term special needs kid.
Yeah, she wasn't even rolling yet.
Now that she has determination like this and all
Yeah.
this, she'll be a type of kid that will be able to talk to her body.
Yes.
And that's one thing, like what you're trying to work on with her other
Yeah.
child that is also adopted,
Uh-huh.
is he does not know how to talk or self-regulate in that sense.
Yeah.
And he's in that constant, to stop and. Right. Hi. Now all of this to be talking, still making noise.
Yeah.
These are all really good signs.
So I've been told by physical therapists that, and I'm sure it's correct, I want you to speak to it, the development goes like in progression, like her verbal won't will slow down when her physical is excelling?
It can. It cannot. But yes, when a child that's starting to have issues with development, it's not like everything goes into a spaghetti pot and totally simmers and eventually you've got sauce. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like, okay, the garlic's been in there for a while. Oh, good. Now the meat's finally come in, you know.
Right.
And so you'll see more chunks in a
Okay.
sense.
Because I feel like verbally she's slowed down.
Because when she's moving, because she's that
Because she's-
huffing and puffing. However,
She's not.
she's now a half hour or so into this,
She's
and
starting to
she's
chatter.
eye contact now, sitting down. Let me just talk to Tracy or whoever.
Yeah, it's a rebel chat.
Because she used to just lay,
I like
but
these
she was
beats,
always
too.
jabbering.
Correct.
Before she could move. You know, when she first came, she was a very chattery baby. And now I would say she's
I
quieter,
like these too. These are pretty.
but happier. I've said that 1,000 times. I just wondered if that was maybe the correlation of why.
But that was big there, where her bounce was actually knee down and butt. That seesaw there
She's getting.
versus
getting
where
that.
she used to
Yeah.
scoot out.
Oh, goodness,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like her sitting is, this just happened this past week where she
Literally.
can sit independently.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
That was here Friday.
Wow.
She couldn't even
Do this.
sit on her own.
And now,
At all.
see,
It was that, immediately, every time. And I've noticed one leg is always out and one leg's always bent. It's like kind of stuck there.
right.
Wow. But look, even there, she's kind of switching it up.
Whereas seeing that,
Uh-huh.
where you want to just
Yeah,
come in and
come
just, in a
down
sense,
and
but that's
see
walking.
her.
That's something you can do. See, if you went too far, she would have fallen. But you just do a little, that'll be a
Where are
walk.
your hands? Right there on her hips?
Yep.
Okay.
And just, in a sense, walk her backwards.
And that
You
will
can do a
loosen up
nice
those
big
legs.
slow one. No, loosen is it'll teach you how to balance through in the legs, and see, and then back in the pelvis. But that's a pre-walk. What she should be doing by now is where she side sits and then side sits. And see, this is where that right leg is not tucking, offering that yet. But what they do is they bounce back and they'll go side sit and come up over it. And then they'll roll back and then they go,
The other way.
right.
But this leg's starting to come in more. Yeah.
That and two, what she's doing, she's not putting her arm down, but at least she's starting to cross midline. That's another thing she would not do. Because technically what a
back
baby
in,
should do
yeah.
is rest on their right and reach over with their left. But an atypical baby, because they can't cross midline, will grab only with their right. So they'll do more like this versus this.
Yeah.
Which again would mean tighter rotation.
I know. This is my favorite too. I know it.
And it's good now she's starting to share.
Yeah.
Like I have a toy here, you want to
Yeah.
play in my world.
That's it.
But that also is to me, now I don't have to worry about her ever having autism as well.
Oh yeah. Isn't that
Because
interesting?
of-
Maybe you just didn't have enough energy to interact with other people.
You don't have peripheral vision.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like
Right.
you get so
But just the
preoccupied.
fact that she's like,
Yeah.
and giving back the beads, she's got her hands up over her shoulders too, which is big.
Yeah, you too.
I'm so excited for you. I hope that my friend Sarah, Maddie, baby's Maddie, did she ever reach you?
I don't know. Might be the one that's coming next. I don't know. That page tomorrow. I have another one coming
She was so
tomorrow.
excited. She was so, and her little one sounds a lot like Copeland.
And then I have one where she's like, "Can you give me documentation because
I
I
don't
want to."
think that was,
Yeah.
I think that was just a random
Okay.
from my group. Sarah just got a brand new basement, a 3-year-old yesterday. So, but her baby, man, she needs to.
So that's an interesting move she does like that.
Well, that
I mean,
used to be nothing but.
yeah,
She wouldn't even
that's
use
what I
her
was thinking.
hands and she would
That's
just
what I was
scoot out.
thinking. Yeah.
So to keep her in
Yeah.
sitting, she would
Yeah.
literally. That was big.
Yeah, there she goes. Look at her.
I know.
Get all tied up there. Get all tied up in these things. Look at it down here. You're supposed to go right
So
in the
what's
neck.
happening there is it's starting to transition since she doesn't have a preference for crawling, but it just actually starts to feel better.
Well, what she needs to start do more is transfer her weight, and if you can't transfer your weight,
Yeah.
again, see how she's lifting that beads right there. So watch when she does that. See if she'll do it. So when you're actually in lift mode, you can't be in crawl, but see, look, see, this is where now it's starting to happen. The feet are planted down. She's transferring from her left side to her right.
Yeah. What I want to know is like what's driving. You know, what is that momentum that says it's just a naturally like this feels more weightless, so I'm going to start doing this, and then we get into the healthy
If I have to
movements.
worry about my safety, it doesn't matter if I'm a senior or an infant. When I'm and then balance is the number one, balance and breathing. If those are a concern for me, you crawl.
Yeah.
I fall down, and that's what crawling does. It teaches you how to fall down. I go up, I go down. So that's why I like right now that she's actually plop, 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 plop. Because the longer you wait, or it doesn't happen when it should, now the torso gets bigger, you know what I mean? I get a little bit higher off the ground. It's like, just like we don't like to fall down.
Right? When you see a 3-year-old run, you're like, oh, it hurts so bad from where I am.
But also, if you look at a 3-year-old, how they're climbing the slide,
Yeah.
if that was to our scale, could you imagine it'd be like a 50-foot thing, and most adults would be like,
Yeah, I ain't gonna do that.
And they're like, mommy, mommy, one more time, you know, and they're just you're going, where the heck? But again, that perpetual motion. But again, the way that we're developing the kids, less parks, less slides, less monkey bars, it's all gonna be affecting. With the phones coming in, I think we're gonna have a rate of Alzheimer's like we did autism, because if people just
Yeah, playground equipment is completely different.
right
It's crazy.
because of liability.
Because of liability. It's all like rock walls instead of like, you know, the bar, like the
Right.
ladder bars.
Right.
There's no monkey bars anywhere.
Or the
They're
ones that
all
you just flip
ramps.
over.
Or those bars, the uneven bars or whatever they're called.
I wish I could have gotten a better picture of it. There was a great park right by the sea in South Africa for adults. And they were just, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I want one of these. I'd be out there every day doing these
sure.
kind
Oh,
of.
I would love.
Well, they have like the exercise like equipment and stations in some parks, which I feel like are playgrounds for adults.
Right.
The bars and
Right.
you know the ladders, and some of them are just silly. But yeah, I've noticed that even with my kids, like from the time my son was born till now, the parks are, you know, everything's so safe. You know, it's crazy.
But can you guys see how much she improved just with this lesson? Is that
Oh, yeah.
her body is more fun to her? Did you touch her enough? And you can see I'm talking, but I'm still
Yeah,
talking.
and yeah, this hand, as she's looking at the beads, this hand ceases to exist.
Yeah.
It's just floating,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of goes limp. Yeah, and until it comes back into vision.
But when you would do that there, something like this, now she heard the noise. but still, you want to start doing things like that. Now she knew she couldn't reach back there.
Well, maybe though.
All of a sudden,
And
now
just
she can reach
right,
back.
Yeah.
and just slowly give her opportunities.
Yeah.
But you can be literally watching TV
Yeah.
and work on. I call this functional vision, and that's where the biggest. See, that's what I've said. She couldn't go that way. She knows she's going to go down if she goes that far back to grab something. Yes. Now she remembered it fell off the table, which is great. So where are those things you just offered me?
Yeah, that just happened this week.
Oh, good.
Where something fell and she'd be like
Good.
over the side of the high chair.
Right.
That was just this week.
See, again, autistic kid.
It's
Yeah.
gone off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
I've been doing that, like I'll put her in the high chair and then be in the kitchen and I'll just drop out a second. I'll pop up and she's like, ah, you know, like, hey, you care.
And so I'll just sit here.
That's good.
There you go.
Maybe she could have cared less.
Good job.
Yeah.
But now since she's a
didn't see
baby,
Uh-uh.
I offer also bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Gee, I'm not going to go like, okay, now reach a little bit further.
No,
She's
you
like
get
7
it.
months old. Like, you get her. Instant gratification.
Yeah, you can have it.
But
It's all yours.
I might just, now see how much quicker she's already. She's like, she's,
coming
see,
over
now,
there.
but
Yeah,
she's
she's
learning to
thinking it
play the
might be
game.
over there.
But that's an intelligent baby.
You know, they talked about having kids in a orphanage, and they always brought the food in this way. All they did was switch up where they brought the food in. And the kids,
I do that with my babies. I always lay their heads on different sides of the crib
yeah,
so that when I'm not always walking in from this way.
Not only
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
what Feldenkrais pointed it out, most kids' cribs are against the wall. So they'll naturally turn to a light source. So if you're
Yeah.
only putting it in one way, then naturally you're
You're gonna
just.
look out, look out, look out.
Yeah. Put it
Like,
against the other wall.
he was-
That's the thing, it's
he-
so cool.
he-
It's
he-
so
Simple.
He was supposed to be so
Simple.
good that he could touch a kid's head and go, oh, the window's only on this side. Like he just would
Jeez,
know.
really? I didn't know that. Yeah. We started to do that even just like if we're doing a tape thing. We put it over here one day, another day we put it over there. Just for the, like, you know,
Change it up.
change it up. Where are you listening to? What are you know?
Totally.
Hey!
It'd probably be beneficial for all of us, you know, switch
it
sides of
up.
the bed with your
Switch
husband.
You know
Oh,
what?
yeah.
I tell them to do that in class.
Do you?
People are they're
Oh, we
nuts.
do it all the time. We do it all
I've
the
slept
time.
35 years on the right side of the bed. I'm not about to change now, and I'm like, I don't know what's scarier: the fact that you know how many years you've been doing that you're that.
Or the fact that you're not regimented.
Or if I
It would
say,
probably change
brush
how
your
my body
teeth,
felt.
brush your teeth this week with just your left hand,
Oh, that's super hard. Well, I've been, since
or feed yourself. Just little
I've
things.
been trying to feed her and like hold her more on my right side because I'm you know, had 10 years I had a baby, so I've gotten real good at this number, but it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's
good for
hard
us
to retrain
too,
your body,
isn't it? It's good for
Yes,
you too. It's so
yes.
amazing.
I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
my neck is not as tight on this side anymore. You know, like it's crazy. Yeah, if I noticed that every time I get a newborn, my neck would get sore in the same spot.
Yeah.
Because
When it's like it's already sore there.
Yeah.
That's what I found. It's like, you know.
Totally, it's prepared to be
Yeah,
sore.
it's ready. Yeah, like, that's the way I.
It's just slobber. It's just slobber. You're gonna sleep well after this one, man. You're just.
she sleeps so good after it's so good. When I bring them both,
But
I
see
have
now
a
already,
whole
look at the
afternoon to
difference in the
myself.
kicking.
It's amazing.
Tracy's.
Oh yeah, I can see one than the other. Yeah. You're such a sweetheart. Yes. Take you home with me. Yeah,
I always say there's plenty. You want one?
And see how
I know.
she's already naturally just
I know,
going
right?
through the rotation, picking her up.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of the modalities had that in it, but
Nice one,
it's
Kendra.
just
Hips is
understanding
so
why it's purposeful.
Yeah.
Now, this is where a lot of parents would fix the hands, you know, but she's got to learn that weight transfer. And that's difficult for her, so she'd rather sit up than play with it, but that's where you just have to
Like,
offer,
give it a
and then
little
she's got to
try,
learn
huh?
Yeah.
left,
Oh, I
right,
see they go there.
versus it's still she's not. But again, not to say fault, but these are just things where my brain goes, okay, it's something I got to work with, because she's not.
Yeah, that's funny.
And they're going to get up this way, they're babies, they're going to get up all of
You're gonna
this,
test it out.
but you want it to be tested out, and that's where I might, you know, bring in a little.
That's so funny. Growing up, and even still have trouble with my left and right.
Oh, yeah.
And it took me forever to learn my left from my right.
But you probably didn't crawl well.
There.
You
Yeah,
probably were a
yeah.
quick walker.
Yeah.
Because again, left and right, up and down, all that, these are, yeah, just, no dropping them off the
Oopsie.
table.
Oopsie daisy.
Hi.
We would have had it. Right?
Oh,
Nice.
Marsha.
Tell me what happened.
She wasn't going off the edge.
I've had a couple of parents once in a while that go,
Really?
that's what they do, huh?
It's stupid. It's just stupid.
You're
She's like,
fancy.
oh, there's a whole box over there now. Now I'm ready to.
want some more toys?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Can you get to them?
So you might do a little with her,
Hey,
like how does the femur rotate? That's what I hear you say.
that's what, see, the
Rotate.
trochanter is what.
Trochanter, that's what I mean. It's not a femur.
Well, it is part
the
of the
top is the. I know.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
just said it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's the femoral head. Yes, you can start
That's
getting.
a little much for her, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's a little much for her.
right, and
Back
that's
off a
why you
little
just
bit.
do it more and
Yeah, play.
yeah.
She gets it anyway,
See where
though.
my other.
Oh, don't you, sweetheart? They say just carrying a baby around is really amazing for the baby.
Because they get your rotation. That's what she was
Yeah.
saying.
Is that right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, a lot of times, like in orphanages and stuff, they don't learn how to balance their weight and stuff because they're not being carried. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, that's right. That's when they learn that, isn't it?
I was looking for my old ball. I can't find it. Back here.
What?
I had a little old ball. You know those balls with like the it's an orange one.
This one?
You know what? I should look. Maybe it's under the table. I'll look.
Do you want to go look under the table?
But it could have walked. Sometimes kids grab and
Take them home.
I thought I had it last with you actually last week.
Maybe we stole it.
No, it's okay. It might be in the truck box. I'll look later, or I'll grab one tonight when I go out.
Yeah, to get a better look at it or something. Just she goes where it feels easier to.
Oh, they'll always go easy. Oh yeah. Where
It's
was
just
it?
in another baby box.
Okay, thanks. But see, that was really nice now. See how she's countering? These O balls are the best. They're so easy to grab. You can put beads in and out of them. You know, if I wanted to, I can turn it into a whole.
Yeah, Zach always does that.
You can put beads in them. You can.
Apparently moms can't.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there's lots. You can tie the beads on. You can.
And once you tie the beads on,
So you
you
can
can
stick your
pull
tongue
it
in
back.
it, push your teeth in
But
it.
it's an easy grab, whether they have severe cerebral palsy to whatever. It's just again, kids just want response. They look at that. Look at her look. Good job. Yes, you
Michelle,
know, lost
I have a
travel.
question for you.
Wow.
Whenever she's hungry and I'm about to feed her, you know, I lean her back and she does this and like presses back against me. How should I respond to that to correct? Because I know that when she should not be, if she was holding a bottle or anything, she would be more forward,
I think
no?
she would be more forward. If she actually if she was nursing, she'd be more forward.
Right, which is where she should be.
Right. So what she might be arching for is because she knows that first sip is going to be a reflux one. You know what I mean? Like so she's almost like afraid to swallow, but she's hungry. So you know, I would almost start here.
That's where I can, because that's where she'll
and
respond
then turn
to
her
me.
around because
Okay.
I think she's doing that to. Oh, this is the only way I can swallow and breathe
Because
at
you
the same
think it will
time.
hurt. That makes so much sense because I'm like, why will she only eat sitting up like this?
Yeah.
And then eventually I can lean her back
Right.
and she'll.
Because
so
once
the
she gets
response
used
is-
to the suck, then she's much
and
more
she does
capable.
gasp more the first couple.
Right.
And I always kind of
So
give her
if
a
you
couple
put her
and I pull
back,
it out. And,
like you lean back and try and gasp and swallow.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where you get the spit up.
Okay, so
So-
if I start her sitting up and then I ease her into that lay
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Yeah, you can be on your knee and stuff, start, and then just go into curl her over.
Because I want her to snuggle in and, you know, I want her to get that.
And she wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it feels so stoic because a
But-
lot of times I'll sit, you know,
But
sit
like
on
I
a chair.
said, they'll protect breathing and balance over anything
That
else.
makes so much sense because I'm like, I feel like I'm reinforcing
It
this.
just feel like if I
Sure.
try to feed you something on a skateboard right now, you
Right.
know, where would you go with it? You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Now,
You
if
would
you're good
resist
to the
it.
skateboard, or if I shook a ladder, like I tell people, if I had you on top of a ladder and I was shaking it and I had asked you to start learning Russian,
Yeah.
your brain would say,
No, but I
make
need to
me
balance.
safe,
Yeah.
and then I'll learn.
Yeah.
But I can't learn when I'm being threatened.
So it's less of a physical response. Well, a
Everything
muscular
is a
response.
movement response. Everything. Whether it's how you respond to your husband, your kids, to your job. If you're filing, it's a movement. If you're driving a car, it's a movement. Yes, you have cognitive responses around those movements, but if you change the movement, you change the brain. Yeah. It's just that simple, I think. That's why even a lot of our emotions, turning green with onion. Well, it's turning. Stand up for your beliefs. It's standing. You know.
Interesting.
Sit down and take it or roll over. They're all based off of major emotions off of movement.
That's fascinating. Probably without known correlation even.
You know, something that I have noticed with a lot of the moms is the hospitals really pat themselves on the back for adhering to the golden hour. Baby comes out and they put the baby like right here on the mom's chest, and that's usually, I feel like the baby's kind of like, I want to be much lower down. But what happens to the mom is that it's like, I think she has trouble with that too, because there wasn't a movement from like here and she determined where to put the baby, and so a lot of moms go into shock that I
Or the
I-
bonding, you
Yeah.
know, because they didn't see it come out of them.
Exactly.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? And all of a sudden it's like, here's baby, and it's like, right?
Yeah.
I thought they put them on their bellies. They don't.
Well, it all depends on the hospital and protocol.
And they
Yeah.
think the golden hour is chest to chest is what that's the only word, that's the only bingo word, buzzword, chest to chest, so they think put the baby here
And I
That's
think
shoulder.
they get,
That's
but I
not
think
chest,
they get
that's
that
shoulder.
too, but it's from the joey holes for when they're premature.
yeah.
And so there's a lot of research about the skin-to-skin contact, but they don't realize that some people start rotating the pelvis naturally, and those are the babies that progress.
Yeah.
So there needs to be, that's where I'd like to meet with some of those kind of people that are doing the joey stuff and start teaching a bit more of where I do it, but it's not necessarily this positioning.
Yeah.
And also, too, they have to consider what the mom's been through. What if the mom's had some kind of trauma when she's 4 years old? What if they don't see well to their left, and now you're putting it on the one side? Now, yeah.
Yeah, I think that adherence to a role.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm going to start to do now is tell mom, so, and remind them and give them the option. So the doctor's going to take the baby, put it right here. I want you to do, if you want to,
Move it.
grab the baby and bring it back up, and then you put the baby
Where it
you-
feels good to you.
But also, have her, where I'm going to teach you how to do the assessment in the arms.
Yeah.
You know, that you can do it when you're...
Yeah, oh, I'm definitely gonna tell them to do that because I think so. And that informs like and then they start feeding based on where the baby was plopped. You know, because
Yeah,
they
they think
wanna
that's
wait
right.
for the baby.
Yeah.
You know, I almost want to say she had a better lesson today because everyone's down here and
Talking
she's,
and
you know what I
chatting.
mean, like, she's, look at her already,
Yeah.
she's really lucky.
Yeah. Is she coming back?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean this weekend? I didn't have it on the plan. I can bring it back.
You're more than welcome. I don't, if you want,
Oh, whatever.
we're here and they're free.
No, well, we can be here. I love, she's just a sweet little princess. You need to
But again, for this little bit of trouble, no offense of coming here,
Yeah.
I've saved you so much in your life of,
Oh
of
my goodness,
therapy.
no.
And again, it's not a brag. I'm not
Three
trying to.
things.
Well,
She wants everything.
Oh, it's
That's what I like about it.
That's
She wants
why
everything.
Paige was, she texted me back, she's like.
She
"Oh,
didn't
you're
want
broke."
anything. A month ago, this child didn't want anything. It
Yeah,
was
but now
like-
she wants everything. She
Right,
wants
which
all of
is,
it.
but she stays with it. Look at her,
Yeah.
she's flopping her. Look at
Oh,
all
yeah.
the stuff that
Taking
she's
it
doing
in.
now.
Yeah. I know Paige texted me and she said, do you think it's worth it? I'm about an hour drive from there. And I was like, yes. It's like so many words I
But
could
see how
say, but
she's
simply yes,
patient.
it's worth it. It's worth the hour drive. I promise you'll think so.
We're just watching her feet now. And Tom, sometimes too, you need to sit there and
Yeah.
let them watch, see how they're integrating it, and
Yeah.
take your cues. But see already, she's so much
grunting,
better left,
yeah.
right.
Worried face.
But honestly, when she first cried too, much more like a machine gun. And I don't know if she still does that, but it's.
Her initial cry will often be that, but I think it's less.
But she literally, when she cried, it was. Yeah, like, I don't even know how she didn't blue. I mean, it's just. La 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 la.
Yeah, when I brought her home, Avery, my sister, my daughter was holding her on the couch, and she was crying, and Avery was laughing, and I was like, honey, what? You give me the, you know, like you gotta make her happy, like move her around or whatever, and she was like, oh, I thought she was laughing. That's how her, because it sounded like she was chuckling. I was like, no, oh, baby girl, no, she was.
Just almost just a panic. Yeah, very extreme.
Look at, see, she's just.
Yeah, turning her foot outward.
So again, I'm sorry she's an older baby. 'Cause I said up to 6 months, unless they're just really not coming to sitting, I don't mind. And I knew, but I think you just learn so much. Just to sit like this and just watch a child develop.
I don't need just
Yeah, I
newborn.
think, yeah, well, and I think that even with my post, I didn't get a ton of response to the newborns because without the understanding that that's considered, because we as foster parents are programmed to think they're not delayed until they're severely delayed. You know, like they come out, they'll evaluate her next week for PT and they'll say she doesn't qualify. She's not delayed. Where, and I've sat in classes where a few foster parents will say, they know this child is delayed, but they won't give me services. But you know, that.
Half the problem is too, no offense, you're pretty, she's pretty. Do you know what I mean? It's going to affect your
How they see everything.
look at it.
Oh, you think that they'll say, she's fine, because you're fine?
I think when they see a happy family, no offense, they're not seeing two
Not the
mommy
worst.
daddies and two,
Yes.
you know, whatever.
That's the response from the caseworker. Oh, at least she's not severely, at least she's not mortally. Oh, maybe.
Like-
Well, how,
what?
well, again, do you want a leg or a foot? How delayed
Right.
do you want it to be? Now, I honestly would take all her toys away.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give her any stimuli. I would lie her there and let her go into, that's, I hate to say it, I think that's a CP crunch. She just use it when she's just,
Yeah, when
you
she
know,
does that.
don't
little-
give her a nap if that's what you have to do. Now, however, you get me, I wouldn't worry about it.
Maybe you don't
Like,
want those services.
You know,
Yeah, well, I was gonna
But
ask
it's
you
some
that.
time.
Would the PT be helpful if she qualified, or would it just work against what you're doing?
it won't work against, but I think you're gonna be like,
Waste
you're
my
doing
time.
what? She's like, she'll
Yeah.
just be like, she needs
It
to be in
depends
all
on the
fours.
therapist.
She needs to be, and they'll
That's
just
the
sit
thing.
there and,
Spared you are.
you know.
Well, and it depends on the therapist,
It's
because
much
I've
more
had
Yeah.
some
forced.
Well, that's
phenomenal
true too.
therapists.
I'm sure that's right too.
However,
and,
I would still let them,
Evaluate.
Why not?
because you don't know her. She can have genetic issues. You still, you know, it's not like she's your baby, so you don't know.
Well, that's true.
We're
Well,
just
she's
a-
not. Sometimes I
No, I
forget. True.
I'm sure.
I'm told.
All the time.
I'm thinking.
Yes.
I know that.
It's just
We know that.
I was with DDD once, and she's like, yeah, see, you can tell it's an hour.
She's
I-
just
she's
tons up.
good.
Yeah, her senses.
Yeah.
Hi, Simon.